Right,
Okay.
on the street, in the Vice world years ago, they were called chickens.
Mm.
Right, the young boys were called chickens, and they had the meat rack. But in the satanic world, they're called diamonds. Right, now we go into this next group, spotters and lookers. These people are sent out, and they're sent out to identify diamonds. Right, they will watch kids that are always on the street. We used to call the latchkey kids, always out. Dysfunctional families, heroin addicts, children.
Mm.
You know, they are on the lookout all the time. There was a very notorious child murderer called Sidney Cook, and that's what he would do. He would work in fun fairs, fairgrounds, and he would find these kids that were drawn in. The parents weren't bothered about him, and he would end up abusing and murdering them. They could be heroin addicts.
Yeah.
This woman, Audrey, the street prostitute, she was one of these. That was her job. She was given free heroin, and her job was to go out there and find children for orgies and rituals, and she was good at it. And they would come to her because, again, they would use women a lot because it's matriarchal. The next group up the pyramid, we've got the fixers. Kids are needed for rituals, but also they're needed for sex parties because they like having sex with children. A fixer will sort it out. He will organise it. So someone's coming to town. When they want to have sex with a little 8-year-old gingerhead boy. He will sort it. He will have links to all the children's homes, the families where there's abuse going on. They all know each other, right? They all know each other. They all share their kids about with each other. And so he will know, he will have his eyes and ears on the street, these people, and they are not resting. There's no day off for these. They're every single hour of the day.
Looking, yeah.
And not only are they looking, they're linking people in with people, right? So, when you've got a child that's been abused, it will be trafficked about and everyone will know. So he'll if they can't find one within their gang, they will abduct. They will abduct. An abducted child gets killed. They're dead. This person will be paid huge amounts of money, right? They will pay it down to them. The families may get some and everything else. There's a big money exchange, and that's a reward. Now, what you'll find quite strange is this word, right? Someone who's a fix-it, someone who will fix it.
Oh yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
Savile.
So
yeah,
we got
yeah.
Jim.
No wonder that's
Fix it, innit?
That's why they called him. That's
Jim,
why his name was Jim or Fix It.
Yeah, fix it.
The procurer, the ultimate
Yeah,
procurer.
yeah. Again, it's hidden in plain sight. Cleaners are regional, so throughout the UK, a cleaner is given a certain region, right? She said the UK split into 5 regions. You know, so you'll get Essex, London, and Kent will be one, and the South Coast will be another, and all that. Cleaners are needed, right? Because there's going to be a ritual. Right, I've heard of places like Royal British Legions being used. I've heard of army barracks being used, Salvation Army venues being used, all out of hours. Right, in order for that to happen, right, this is what I've been told. So I'm not saying that these organisations are pro-paedophile or pro-Satanist. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this is what's been mentioned to me, and I'm sharing it with the world. Right, these venues get used. Right, so we want to use this studio, right? At 3 a.m, it's going to make alarm bells ring, literally alarm bells ring. You're going to have a central station alarm, which is wired up to the police station, which is going to get triggered. You may have either an in-house or a floating around security team, right? You're going to put the lights on. People are going to turn up and park cars. It's going to give the game away. A cleaner is brought in so that don't happen. So they will frustrate any sort of efforts there are for people either unintentionally or intentionally sussing out what you're doing. Okay.
So how are they cleaning? In what way then?
They're cleaning in many ways, right? So afterwards, there's going to be a lot of mess, right?
Yeah.
Right. So physically, they'll organise a cleaning team, so it's forensically clean.
Yeah.
So there is no forensic footprint. Okay.
And they're all part of it, I guess. They're still
They're
group.
They're brought in.
Yeah.
They're Satanists are brought in.
Right,
They're paid big money for this. They will also make sure. It's why it's important to have high-ranked officers involved in this, right? They're also brought in, right, to make sure that an alarm doesn't go off.
Right.
Right. They will put dogs around, people walking dogs around in the perimeter, so no one breaches that wall of steel. And if they do, right, someone's come in, make sure they're out of the way. So there'll be a little team out there to distract people on the outside from coming in. International fixers.
Right.
Right. So these were them move kids all over the world.
So these are your Epsteins.
Yeah. And
this is your Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah,
right?
that's the name that was mentioned.
And
Epstein,
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, Epstein is an international fixer. That's what he was. He would make sure the kids were got there. I've been told of people saying that they were put in Hercules jets and flown out abroad.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how would a military jet be used? She said, because they'll have their own pilots, and it's the same with the police. There'll be police buildings will be used, but not for normal coppers. These will be satanic.
Private,
They will. And he said, you give someone a sleeping tablet, they're going to be out for 8 hours. You're not going to get many flights that go over 8 hours. So it's easy to put someone out for 8 hours. Easy. And then they don't know. So this is Epstein. And this is where big money. I was told about one very, very famous British singer who is an international fixer and always proclaims his innocence. But he said, no, this guy he's worse than Jimmy Savile. He's a famous, I'll tell you afterwards his name, and it'll be no surprise, but some people weren't having it. There's no way he is, but I was told this man's an international fixer. So Savile, so they will procure children globally, and there might be a need. Certain parts of the world, you're not going to get blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids, and there's other parts you can.
But aren't they also doing it to create blackmails and bribes so that you've got this person, because they said, look, we filmed this, so then you better do what we say and put our puppets in, otherwise you're in trouble.
Filmed. Everything is filmed. Porno films are made, so when the kids are procured for, like I said, not just for rituals, kids are procured for parties, and that'll be filmed. Above this, the penultimate group, they're called the Bloods, right? These are very, very ancient, wealthy families, and it's all to do with blood. Yeah, all to do with blood, and blood gives a power. Power comes a money and the privilege, right? The Bloods. So these are big, ancient families, right? And they will be governing everything. They're in charge, and they remain in charge. The big houses are big. This is the Bloods.
Do you have any examples of?
I don't know.
Are they families or?
Yeah. They're bloodline families.
Bloodline families.
And they're,
so it's not quite royal level.
No, but
so this could be governmental level.
Yeah, it could be anything. Yeah,
could be anything.
CEOs, but that does lead in.
To
the ultimate group, right? And that's what she said. The ultimate group are the royals, right? And she said they are the ruling families of the world, and they're all interlinked. So it's not just here, it's all around. They're all interlinked, and they're all involved in this. I mean, I have heard of members of this family. One always keeps cropping up, time after time
Prince
after
Philip?
time. I've heard of that, but there's another one, another one I can't say, but I'll tell you afterwards. There'll be no surprise either. No surprise. And even I was contacted by a royalty protection officer who verified a lot. A police protection officer, and so police officers
they know
they know all of this,
but they can't do anything.
They can't do anything out of this.